Hello everybody and welcome to this week's midweek market update from Smack the Markets for the 1st of July. So coming into the second half of the week, we've got quite a bit going on. Of course, today is the turn of a quarter. And not only just the turn of the quarter, it's also the turn of the half-year mile point as well. So that's going to have an impact on money flows, particularly with big funds. So that may well have an impact as the week progresses. But as the week progresses, we've got rather challenging times ahead. We've got non-farm payrolls and initial jobless claim numbers on Thursday this week because of the Friday US Independence Day holiday. So a few things going on there. Bear in mind that Friday may well be lighter liquidity because of the US holiday there too. So let's have a look at how the markets fared on Monday and some of the opportunities that we're looking at going into the second half of the week. So if we come and take a look at the Dow first of all, and if we zoom in on this on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that the levels that we were keen on Monday was the 25,500, and the market now has managed to move past 25,500, and it's formed some stronger support and stronger resistance, I should say, at the 25,650. If you remember, we put this level in on Monday. This was a sort of a mild level, not quite as strong as a significant price point, but again this week the market is just reinforcing that level, strengthening it up. So at the moment here we're still stuck between this sort of two range of 25,500, 25,650. We are looking like it's starting to see a formation of stronger markets and a long trend forming here. So if we do get above 25,650, well, the next sort of trading window sees the market up to around that 26,000 price point. If we can't get above here, and certainly if we take out 25,500, well, then we could be seeing retests and revisits here of 25,200 and possibly the 25,000 area to the short side. Now, the significance of that is, of course, if we get 25,200 tested, that's going to break the trend here that's forming here on the on these sort of lower time frames. So just be aware of that. For us, it's very much intraday opportunities for us trading these markets at the moment, and trading them in between these trading windows. So again, at the moment, we're just taking a good key on these sort of levels that the market's forming. If we take a look at cable now, and on Monday, our target really here for cable was 123 that we discussed. Now the market took 123 out. We got a continuation move down here. We thought we might get to see 122.50, but the market didn't quite get down to that price point, and now we formed a double bottom, and the trend on the 4-hour time frame is now broken. So we really need to come up to these higher time frames to start to see sort of evidence of any sort of trend forming again, and that's sort of here on the daily. Otherwise, the sort of structures are starting to look decisively choppy. Now, of course, Great British Pound has been one of the weakest currencies for a while now, and again, it's being impacted here by a lot of news flows, particularly around sort of Brexit and the EU trade negotiations, not to mention the fundamentals which are being announced on the economy too. So whilst the market is not forming any sort of decent trend structures here, there are other markets that we're more keen on, which we'll take a look at in a moment. Now, we also discussed oil here on Monday, and again, we looked at the technicals here. We looked at the proposition of oil weakening, and if we just take a look at this on the daily time frame, you can see the level that we sort of marked in there around that sort of $40 level, just above that $40 level here. And we saw some evidence of weakness coming in, particularly with divergence here on these higher time frames. The levels that we were keen on here were weakness below 37.35 and looking for a move down to 34.50, and you can see at the moment here the market just hasn't sort of taken that level out yet. So at the moment the oil market is sort of contained within that sort of range on the mid time frames here, we've got evidence of a long trend starting to form. On the higher time frames there, on the daily, we saw that we had that level around just above price here, which is around sort of 40, 35, and we had that sort of clear divergence as well. So again, not quite so easy. This is starting to look a little bit more bullish. We do have, of course, oil news later on today as well. So new opportunities really going into the second half of the week. Well, markets are extremely changeable at the moment, as you've probably seen. Some of the common themes that we're starting to look at, though, are around some of these yens at the moment. So if we take a look at some of these yens, like the Aussie Yen, we can see that if we have a look on this on the weekly chart, we can see that we've had quite a bit of strength in the Aussie Yen for a while now. We've had the pullback, and now the market is just breaking through that 74 level. So getting through this level here does open the market up for a bit of freer action. And again, we've got the sort of context of a long move forming here on the weekly chart. Again, if we bring this down to the daily time frame, you can see that the market's sitting around a key level at the moment. And after this sort of big swing high, we've had the pullback. If we can get a break above this sort of 74 area, we could start to see moves towards the 76 price point. And again, if we come down to the 4-hour time frame, we can start to see evidence here of a long trend forming. We could have also got a couple of levels now in here. 74,000 here, the big level that we saw on the higher time frames. There's also something here around 74,300 where you can see there's previous support and resistance here on the mid time frames. Now the market's getting through here. We've got that sort of move possibly up here towards that, or that trading window possibly up here towards that 75,000 price point. Now, just not Aussie yen, but Singapore dollar yen is also looking sort of rather similar structure again, and I think it's also another one worthwhile keeping an eye on. If you take a look at the daily, we've got a very similar structure here to the Aussie yen, and the market's just pulled back into this resistance level, which may well act as support again. And the 4-hour time frame looking very reasonable. And the evidence here of a new trend forming similar to the Aussie yen as well. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on going into the second half of the week. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.